Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. About you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. About you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be.
Well, hello. Nice to have you all with us this morning. And thanking Lee for his glorious tune. Haven't seen him in a while. He's in process of moving. Nice to have you all here. We got a big crowd in already. Oh dear, excuse me. I need to clear the pipes out this morning. Mrs. Moose. Hello, Mrs. Moose. Let's see. There we go. And here's Lord, I can't even talk. Hi, Joey. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay.
Good morning out there. Good morning.
There we go. All right. Good to be with you all this morning. Big crowd in there. What is going on here? All right. We're going to...
There's a lag.
Bada bang. We have a lag. Do we?
Well, I thought we did, or you were just cutting out. I'm not sure where.
No, we don't have a lag. I've got a brain lag is what it is.
All right.
We're okay.
Okay.
I just need to get cranking this morning. Here we go. All right. We got a gang in today. Let's see who's come in since I looked last. Monster Fish Gal. Jenny's been here a while. Mrs. Mooch just came in. She said she had a frustrating Facebook conversation this morning. Someone was convinced you needed to take your gravel out completely and clean it. Oh well. Gravel. We don't talk about gravel around here a lot. It's kind of verboten. Not a big gravel channel here. Jason's here. Hello, Jason. Well, Joe, you want to do some welcomes to everybody?
I can. I'll take it from the top. I see Glass Fox, Karuna Karen Narash, Bruiser CD, Jenny Lynn, Alexander, Tommy Denda. Welcome, everyone. T-Bones is here with us. Roman Sharrock, Dennis Lord, Kinesio Valley Cichlids. Then I see Paul C. James Handy. Good morning, everyone. Then I see Mermaid's Chorus. Duco is with us. Colored Guppies. Fish and Shrimp by Rich. Andres is here. Tank Top Tropics is here. Patricia Murphy, Mr. Manifesto. And then I see Joshua Miller. Chevy Fish is here. Fission Tank Dix. Good morning, everyone. David Piper. Stephanie Frederick. Stephen Cooper. Graham Fishkeeper. Patrick Polson. Crystal Aquatics, welcome TJ. Mrs. Moose, One Wanderer, One Fishy Dude, R&B Collectibles, Monster Fish Gal, Lori, welcome. Scrolling. Like there's a lot here this morning. Oh, Kenny's here. Dan.
They really are, aren't they? Yeah, Kenny's here. Yeah, so Kenny. Yeah.
Sincere.
James, no sewer trash talk here. Right.
I think Chevy Fish. Hello. And
Hey, Chevy.
Patrick Murphy, not sure. J Dog. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. And then I see that I'm done. I think
All right.
I made it to the bottom.
Hey, Frugal. Frugal is here. Hi, Frugal. T-Bone. Yeah. Nice to see T-Bone.
Yep. So I think I got everybody. If I missed it, Hannah Robinson, good morning. Fish and Salt Fish in Florida, good morning. Good morning. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. All right.
All right. What a crowd.
Okay.
What a crowd. We have 51 watching and 30 thumbs up.
Deb Long, good morning. All right. It's hammer time. Smash the like button, people.
Hey, Fresh and Salt Fishy. Nice to see you guys. I love your channel. Absolutely love it. It is so down home and so warm and so just joyous. Love your channel. Nice to have you with us, Fresh and Salt Fishing, Florida.
Mm-hmm. And then, Roman's here. Good morning, Roman.
Hey, Roman, how are you? Good to see you, Roman. Yes.
Hi, Deb.
I'm Jenny Lynn.
And if there's any questions, now is a good time.
Deb Long. Hello, Deb.
Hi, Duncan. Welcome. All right.
Let's see. Somebody asked me about God, my brain is totally warped this morning. I can never think of anything. Diana Wallstead. They asked me if I'd heard from Diana Wallstead. There was a comment some months back in December that came from a channel that had her name on it, but no content at all. I mean, not even any content. And the comment was somewhat problematic. I discussed it with a few people, and we determined that it may not have been legitimate. I did respond in warm fashion, being appreciative of her input, but never heard back. So don't know a thing about it. There was some discussion in that same time frame about a plant channel that had raised the issue about deep substrate and had some comment about fatherfish. I was never able to find that, so don't know anything about it. So no, the powers that be in the plant world are either ignorant of us or ignoring us, which is probably just as well. For instance, I do not have a care for a yellow belly slider. Saved him out of a drainage pipe. Oh boy. Probably would have done just fine in the drainage pipe. It doesn't take much to care for a yellow belly slider. If you have a way to keep them outside, that's preferable. That way they can get sunlight and so forth. They're in and out of water, but they prefer being in water. They do need to come out to dry out. So in point of fact, the sewer might have been not a good long-term fix for him, since he would not have been able to get into sunlight at all. In any case, try to keep them in. If you're keeping them in a tank, you want something you can crawl out of, and preferably a UV light, some kind of decent lighting that is going to allow them to thoroughly dry out and get UV. So if you can keep them outside, excuse me. If you can keep them outside, that's so much better. T-Bone bought two sunsets, two black guppies, and picked up two peppercorns. So you were broadening out, aren't you, there, T-Bone? I think they'll all do real well um, with your barbs in your barb tank. They should do fine. Unless are you setting them up in a different tank or putting them in the same tank?
I was gonna say hello to Sheeta Heaven, to Dawn, and then I saw a couple more people come in. I thought, where did I see them?
A fruiting log, that'll work.
If
That'll be just fine, fresh and salt.
Oh, we missed it.
And then you can feed him anything. It doesn't matter what you feed him. Stephen Cooper, is it okay to slowly mineralize soft water using well water? Well, that's interesting. Why do you need to do that? Why can you not simply use the well water? It's apparently mineralized water. The new noodle-like fish. Patrick Murphy. I may have missed it in a previous stream, but what's the new noodle-like fish you got? That's funny. Noodle-like. Are you talking about this guy? That is, I've had those for a while. Had them at the shop. It's a salamander. I've got four of them in there. It's a siren, a Florida native salamander. They get about 2 foot long. They have 2 front feet with toes, actual feet, and gills, external gills. So pretty cool little animal. Had them for a while. Again, a siren, a native Florida salamander. What are you referring to there, Joey?
I'm not referring to anything. I'm just saying hello. Hi, Petra Man. Good morning, Joe. Gino Josie is new this morning, and welcome.
Oh, nice.
And then Rosalind Clancy. Good morning, Roz. Jean Campbell. Michael Long. Sandy Farrell. I think that's it for new people. Welcome.
Yeah, 66 watching. We're pumping it.
Yeah.
We're pumping it. We really are. Good morning, Sandy Farrell. Yeah.
I was just trying to say hello.
They really are cool. Very cool animal.
Anyway, I think I got everything ready. Stephen Cooper.
You want to read it?
Yep. I understand guppies do better with hard water. I have access to well water. That's one you just read.
Yeah. No, I didn't. That's the follow-up.
I have access to well water that I can mix with my soft water. Will guppies acclimate to softer water without hurting them?
Have access to well water, but you've got salt water coming out of your tap well water available to you. It's a crapshoot, Stephen. It depends so much on what they were raised in and how long. I'll tell you what, though, the babies from the guppies will survive and thrive in whatever water you put them in. The adults you might have trouble with because they tend to be more sensitive to change from whatever the conditions they grew up in. Generally, they do better in hard water. That's true. Go ahead, Bert. I'm sorry.
No, I just said hi. They just have more. Good morning.
Yeah, you do have a big salamander up there, James. The Hellbender is, I think, is found in New England.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, you almost never see them, and they're getting rather rare. They're harder and harder to find. They also live exclusively in the water. They don't, to my knowledge, they don't come out of the water. But they get big. They get upwards of 2 foot.
All right. Well, I mean, I've never seen one, but that's okay.
To shade of heaven, hello, hello.
Tommy Denda, Father Fish, how do I get a wide variety of nice fine bacteria?
That's a really good question, and it's what I'm working on. Um, the best way to do it, really the only effective way to do it, is to gather material from a wide range and wide variety of places. Um, I know when GARF, the Geothermal Research Foundation, was putting together a broad range bacterial substrate for saltwater tanks, they actually collected mud from literally all over the world in order to be able to get a wide variety of bacteria. So do not be afraid to do that. Gather leaves, litter, mud, whatever, and in tiny amounts. It doesn't need to be in large amounts. By the tablespoon is more than adequate. From as wide a variety of places as are available to you, we ought to get we ought to get a market going in biologicals, shipping mud around the country. I don't think we can ship it out of the country, but we can certainly ship it within the country. But that's what you have to do. You have to collect it, and you simply collect from the widest range of sources that you can. I wanted to show you something this morning. The fish that I collected earlier in the week are kind of out invisible today, and I noticed that what you probably won't be now, but these are mullings. You saw those before, but I saw some. Oh, is that it? No, those are Formosa. They're in there. We're all out this morning, and now they're gone. There's some in the plant. I don't know if you can see them. I can't get. Maybe I can get a little more water. Right there. See that down the bottom? There's another one. There are a couple more. Those are the Everglade. The three or four in the plant. There they are. There's a dark one back there. That's a larger male. That's full grown. If you can see him.
You can barely see him.
Barely see him, yeah.
Oh, that's a little better.
They're a little hard to see,
Yeah.
as they do. There's one down there. That's a little female, right down there on the bottom. That's a Formosa up front.
Yeah.
So they do not even get an inch long. Tiny, tiny little fish.
Hannah has a question if you're ready to move on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My nearite snails all died in deep substrate setups. Happened in two different tanks. Snails added day 2. The fish are fine, pencils and green neons. Would ammonia spike kill the snails, but not the fish?
Wasn't the deep substrate that caused it. Excuse me. Well, it might. Ammonia spike might kill snails, but not fish. I haven't. Gee whiz. The nearite snails are a brackish water snail, so they want harder water. They might not do well in very salt water, so that's a consideration. As for the ammonia spike, that's probably, if you did have an ammonia spike, that could well be the reason. Once you get past that, try them again. I have lots of them here, and we do collect. By midsummer, we'll have them by the hundreds. So we'll be able to get them out to everybody inexpensively. don't know for sure. It's hard to know for sure. If you had a substantial ammonia spike, it might not hurt the fish, but might. I don't know about that. My guess would have to do with water hardness. Have you tested it? Do you know what the hardness is in the water? Sorry, I'm not more help.
Good morning, Aqua Balls and JDR. Hello. Hello. David Piper. I'm not sure if I said hello. And
Canestio asked James if he uses meter or paper for testing general hardness. I try to use uh, liquid or a meter. Try not to use the paper tab. They tend not to be as accurate.
yeah. Good morning, Greg. Pick up the guy. Good morning.
Anna said she has cold water, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, you may be on to something with the ammonia spike, though. That could, I would guess, that could affect snails.
Um. Hello, Rohan.
Canestio. Um,
Hmm.
a lot of conversation going on here. I'm not following.
A lot of hellos. Yeah. Whips World. Good morning. Mermaid Court. Thoughts on cross contamination between tanks, such as moving plants between tanks without sanitizing them, or just working on multiple tanks at once. I'm usually pretty careful. Are you thinking about that?
Well, yeah, I am
Okay.
actually.
I was like, maybe you didn't hear me. Okay.
I think I think the hobbyists who are concerned about cross contamination and are able to discipline their husbandry in such a way as to reduce it or control it substantially are are operating at a higher level than most fish keepers. Most fish keepers, even fish keepers who maintain large collections, tend not to be concerned about cross contamination, which is not to say it isn't an issue. It absolutely is an issue, or I should say, can become an issue. It can be an issue. I think the difficulty for most fish keepers is that the incidence of it becoming a problem is so limited as to be of little consequence. I know that's true for me. I know there are times when cross contamination has created problems for me, but those times have been few and far between. And I'm frankly not that careful a fish keeper. I'm not that detail oriented uh, to actually be that careful about things like nets going from one tank to another, or plants going from one tank to another, or fish for that matter. Obviously, if I see a problem in a tank, I isolate that tank in my practice so it doesn't contaminate. But as a general rule, I do not, unless there's substantial reason to do so, I don't pay attention to it, which is not at all to say that one should abide by my practices. Uh, I think those who are careful about such things uh, and are watching what they're doing and are developing uh, behaviors, disciplines, husbandry practices that deal with that or of a better scientific nature, better laboratory nature than I am.
Um, TJ, I know Patrick just gave you some advice on feeding your goldfish, and that's not bad advice. I just feed a variety of pellets. I try to do veggie and stuff in between so that I cover everything. That's how I do it. Uh, Tommy Danda, fatherfish, is there anywhere I should avoid when collecting small amounts of soil, mud from different locations, etc.? Anything he should avoid?
Good question, Tommy. Um, I would avoid farm runoff. Also, avoid collecting roadside ditches or areas where there's substantial fertilizers or insecticides used in lawn maintenance. So try to get out into more native areas, more natural areas, and collect from there. Um, I think the roadside pollution is a bit overdone. I've really never noticed a problem with it, and I've collected a lot roadside. But there's no question that that road dirt can be a real serious issue, particularly in northern climates where chemicals are used on the road in the winter to control ice. That could be a significant issue. So just try to collect in areas that are more natural and more wild and less proximate to places where there's likely to be insecticides used or some other kind of um, herbicide. Good question, Tommy.
David Piper has a question for you, fatherfish. My wife showed up the other day with what she said was a medium pleco. I'm scared she bought a common pleco. She said my 40-gallon needed a sucker fish. Ever heard of a medium pleco?
It's interesting, David. Naresh just posted a video. There was a clip from a discussion a few weeks ago about plecos. I attached a link to it to a video showing the devastation of wild plecos, the giant pleco. There is well medium pleco. It's impossible to know what that means. There are hundreds of species of plecos, some of which become 2 to 3 foot long or larger. I saw one once that was every bit of 3 foot, and I've had people tell me they've seen them bigger. Um, those are plecos. Check out that video. There's a couple of, it's a video attached, a link to another video that really discusses this whole issue of the giant pleco and the fact that it really is a very bad fish for the aquarium industry. It's popular. It's a high sale item. It's a low cost item, and it's one that really ought not be being sold. I think I'm going to just start taking a stand on that because somebody needs to. It's just not. It's not an appropriate fish for a fish tank. Don't know
Uh,
what your wife found. It could be. It could be something that only gets 5 inches long. You'll just have to wait and see unless you can figure out a way um, to determine what species it is. You might photograph it and put it online and see if it can be identified.
Good morning, Aim Spirit Fish and Word Dunlap. R&D Animals. Every time I put fish in my 55-gallon, 3 days later I find them all dead. What can I do to fix this, fatherfish?
Wow. RB Animals. Well, we need to look at the whole tank and what you're doing in it, how it's set up, what's going on. Why don't you tell us more about the tank, RB? And I'll tell you what, if you will get on Discord, our Discord channel, somebody will post the link here.
Yeah.
Um, we've got a lot of expertise over there that can look at pictures, look at videos, really be able to examine and talk with you in depth about that. I'd strongly recommend you do that. If you want to tell us a little more about your tank here, we'll try to do a quick and dirty diagnosis. But my hunch is you're going to need to reset that tank up. If it's killing fish routinely, there's something fundamentally wrong. But do those two things. Tell us a little more about it. But get on to Discord. We'll get you linked up so you'll be able to post pictures, and we'll be able to really give you some in-depth help.
Good morning, JBV. And who else did I see? We have a new person, Jay Lee, and he is asking, I've been breeding a couple of angels and they're producing like crazy. I've moved the wrigglers and put them in the 10-gallon with an internal airflow foam filtration and feed like brine shrimp. They're all thriving. Is sell ? And then down below he says, how do I sell them or what do I do?
I love it.
Good morning.
Well, that's a big question, of course. We'll turn you blue for that one, Jay Lee. Nice to have you with us, and nice to it's nice to have the problem. One of the ways that a lot of breeders deal with this issue is by joining a local club, and because all of the clubs have auctions or at least trades, so you can take excess fish in and trade them out or auction them off for something else. Fish stores generally with angels, local fish stores love to get local angels because they're just going to be healthier and more stable than what they can get through the industry. So you might do that. You might check with local stores. Set up some friends with fish tanks. Get a little group going. Get a little group of friends going. You can certainly list things here and offer to ship them. That may be beyond your capability or interest in shipping them out, but that's certainly a solution as well.
Right.
You might consider controlling population at some point. But good job, Jay Lee. Nice to have the problem.
Good morning, Witch World. And they have a question. Father Fish, I have similar issue with Pleco ID. I bought a red albino from PetSmart a couple weeks ago that I assumed was a common, but I actually have no idea. It's super tiny. Or teeny, yeah.
Hard to say. If it's a red eye, it probably, it's hard to say. The problem with the commons is that they did a genetic workup on them, the ones that are wild here in Florida, and discovered that there are just a potpourri of species. It's a mix of so many different species. They really couldn't nail it down. I think they were up to 6 or 7 species that have crossbred. Um, but they're all a type pleco that gets very big. I'm not aware of any wild populations in Florida of bushy nose, for example. Um,
Right.
you're just going to have to wait and see what it does. But it it would be most helpful, I think, if if the industry leaders could stop selling fish like that are number one, impossible fish to keep long term in a fish tank. That's not perhaps real grounds. But number two, and more importantly, are absolutely devastating natural environments, such as crystal waters, and have been found to be killing manatees. They attach themselves to the side of manatees and act like suckers, suck the slime coat off of them and kill them. I mean, it's a devastating problem. In addition to which, they eat all of the food, the natural food that the manatees require. So they've become a real problem in that sense. Do check out that video we just posted today about plecos, and then follow up with the link, and you'll see what the problem is.
Now, Jaylee has a joke for you, fatherfish, at 9:35. I'll let you read it.
I'm not getting down. 9:37, 9:30,
9:35.
9:35. Who?
Jaylee.
Here's a fish joke. Two fish were playing and swam into a concrete wall. One looked at the other and said, "Damn, right, right." Funny stuff. Funny stuff. Thank you, Julie.
People are just talking about selling their fish. So the stores,
Amazon swords and cribs.
Um, James is talking about what he does.
Ames
Grass
spirit fish.
says, I have to move. Oh, Guppy Grass Galore guy says he has to move 2 of his angelfish. They started getting territorial. I think they want to mate or already have. I think they killed the Priscilla Tetra. Yep, they'll do that.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah, angels are predators. They'll anything they can fit in their mouth will go in their mouth.
Yeah.
They may appear to be a sweet, angelic, lovely little fish, but they're a major predator, and they're big enough, or they get big enough, to be a real issue in a tank. You know, these are fish that can get 5 to 6 inches. They can get really big. You start them out little tiny things with your little tiny tetras, and they all look so cute and pretty. But the angelfish will turn into a very big, aggressive fish. I'll give you an example. I can get my camera. Gee whiz. Here are some. These guys are. See them in the back. They're nearly 5 inches tall. Beautiful fish, but I wouldn't dare put I was looking for tanks to put the Everglade eye in, and I knew I could not get away with it because they would eat them up, every one.
All right, what else we got?
Local fish store will only give you $3 for mated pairs, $1 for smaller quarter size. $1 ain't bad. $3 for a pair is a little cheap.
Yeah. Hello, Ram.
No, sailor. See if they'll give you wholesale. That's what I tried to do. I tried to offer whatever it cost me at wholesale. So that was, go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I was just reading Ram Kumar's statement at 9:39. The fish. Do lizards catch fry from aquarium? Like fly they fry are missing from the tank, and sometimes lizards sprawl on the top of the tank and watches fish cunningly. Yeah,
Well, I'm not going to say no.
right, right. I mean, I don't know what kind of lizard you have, but
Yeah, I
maybe.
never saw it happen, but
Good morning,
it's not
Susan.
big.
Healthy Aquatics. Good morning. Hello, Sunset Jen. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Um,
Guppy wants to know what you feed your angels.
I feed the Tetra Color granules, the extra large granules. I feed some cichlid flakes, and what else do I feed? And I usually feed a kind of a veggie kind of crisp, and I'll alternate back and forth between 3 or 4 foods. That's what I feed on a regular basis.
Sunset Jen.
Yeah,
Passing through the way to bed. Ice angels.
yeah. Good morning. Have a good day, Sunset Jen, or evening. Good morning, Brooke. Hello.
Whip's world. Yeah, it's a real issue down here. We have everything wild. If if there's a fish you're interested in finding in the wild, somewhere in Florida it exists in the wild. It's just kind of amazing how much turns up.
All right.
Colors like
Yeah, see other people do. David feeds bloodworms and high protein flakes and brine shrimp. Yeah, everybody just says different things.
yeah,
Go with what works. That's what I do.
you
I
bet.
feed I feed those things in my angelfish breed, so I'm good. That's how I do it.
Kenny would like to get some Ultims.
Huh?
Kenny has got Ultims coming in. He's got a 300-gallon tank that
Well,
he's selling.
they have the Altons already. They have them. They're going to move them to that bigger tank once they get it set up. But they have those fish, and they're beautiful. I've seen them.
Kenny does. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Ultims, right.
Yeah. Yep. Canisteo Valley. What do you call a talkative fish? A big mouth bass.
Where is this?
All right. What's going on here?
What do you call it? The fish should be fast, right?
All right. Anything there. So I'll just scroll back.
Aquaballs gives his fish everything they eat. His angels. Kenny likes jokes.
That's funny, TJ. He says one Shabunkin has a blue line like a heartbeat monitor down both sides. I call him Steven.
That's funny.
Cute.
Yeah.
That is cute. All right. You like the fish jokes, Kenny? Okay, we'll put one in here.
Really? Kenny's a professional jokester,
Yeah.
actually. He does a stand-up.
I don't know if he has fish jokes, but
Really? Well, Kenny, you need to consider that. Putting together a routine to do a stand-up comedy at a fish show. I'm sure that would be a smashing success.
I know, lots of dragon stuff. All right, where do we go? I'm wanting to give away. Oh, Rohan wants to give away his Synodontis to someone with a bigger tank. Well, that can happen. Yeah, he's 310 pounds of dragonstone.
Really?
Kenny said it was a lot of dragonstone.
310 pounds of dragonstone. Mercy.
Yeah, it's a lot of dragonstone. I hope it's an extra strong stand with all that dragonstone.
Yeah, Lord knows. Looked like a pretty solid structure.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Do I feed Rapashi to my fancy? No, I don't have. I only have a handful of, what I would call fancies, and no, I don't have bags of it. Truthfully, I have probably 4 or 5 bags of it, and I just never mix it up.
Kenny will probably take your Sinnoh. He loves Sinnohs.
Yeah, but
He's
he's
got
in the
a
Himalayas. Yeah, but Rohan's in the Himalayas. I don't think that's gonna work. 40 years fish. Good morning. Good morning. I got a feeling there'd be some import issues there.
be fun to work it out, wouldn't it?
Kind of expensive. Good morning, Jeffrey Foster. Good morning.
Emily is placing an order on Toshida Heaven's
Oh,
store.
nice. Nice, Emily. Thanks. I don't know what George is talking about. He doesn't feed something anymore. It gives
He's
them
talking
worms.
about fish getting worms from live food.
Okay. I didn't catch what he had written above because I was looking down below. All right. We're adding more weight. All right. There's a question. When adding more weight, like with stones, should we add egg crate in the bottom? You asking Gene
Well,
in the bottom inside the tank, or are you asking under the tank? I'm a little.
I would assume inside. Um, yeah, a couple of things. I like to do styrofoam under a tank
Well,
because it
right.
levels it. If they're micro variations, it will level those variations. If you have a deep sand bed, that sand will act as it will act to spread the weight. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a difference between putting a rock directly on glass or putting a couple of inches of sand in and putting the rock on the sand. The sand just spreads the weight. Egg crate's a good idea, though, and it's certainly not something that would create a problem if you put egg crate on the bottom and put mud or dirt in it and sand on top. It would not be like a plenum. That would not be what a plenum is. And a plenum would be another thing that would actually um, keep weight off the glass, but might put additional pressure. Hadn't thought about that. Put additional pressure on the perimeter of the tank because it effectively would put the entire weight of the substrate on the edges on the perimeter of the tank, which would not be even distribution. So in a very, very big tank, that could be a serious consideration. Interesting stuff. I like
Yeah.
egg crate. Egg crate's nice stuff. It's great on top of tanks too, because it provides aeration as well as uh, keeps fish from jumping out and gives you something to put the light on.
Good morning, Jeffrey Watts. I was just reading Kinesio Valley Cycle's comment. It says feeder fish should only be fry raised in your own fish room. I know that sounds bad, but guppies and convicts are a good source of protein. Just saying. No, I get what you're saying. Raise your own food. Yeah, whether it's fish or
Yeah,
worms or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah,
then
that's a real serious consideration, particularly for people who have a large enough operation that they really can uh, grow fish out and be able to use the
um,
fry for food.
I'm just reading what TJ says. It's fatherfish. When I moved my 29 with the deep river sand, it ended up being 5 gallons of sand. I left half dirty and just rinsed half and put on the top. Will this keep the nutrients and bacteria going okay?
I would say so, frugal. I think that's not a bad plan at all.
Yeah.
It kind of keeps things. It keeps things down in where they belong, down in the bottom, um, and protects your top inch or so.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think so. Would Jean Campbell would egg crate keep my cat out too? I had a thin glass top in the 20.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, but if your cat's gonna run across the top of that tank, no, your egg crate's not strong enough. If it's a big tank in a wide area, that egg crate won't hold up to your cat walking across it. Just
Yeah,
saying.
Jane said she had glass on and the cat broke it.
Yeah, it'll break. It'll go through the egg crate faster than that. It's not that strong in that sense. Yeah, I don't think anybody ever looks forward to moving tanks, Yvonne. It's not fun. Not fun.
Andre, can I use freshwater guppies to feed saltwater fish? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, what else we got here? Yeah.
T-Bone, you're looking to move soon,
Well, he
or
says when
are
we
you?
have to move. He says when we have to move. So I don't know if that means soon or just a general statement. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't think.
Yeah, Graham
Oh, yeah. If it
talking
doesn't
about.
have barbels and yeah, that's probably yeah. Just a goldfish. Mm-hmm. Well, that's true, TJ. You just have to do it. When you have to do it, you do it, and it actually usually isn't that bad. But you dread it. I think the dread, the worrying about it's worse than actual moving the tank.
Yeah, if you have a protocol for doing it, it's really not so bad. Generally speaking, if it's not too big a tank, and you can simply reduce the water down to an inch and leave the substrate and move the tank, that allows you to keep your tank set up so you're not breaking it down. Uh, Take the heavy stuff out, any big heavy rocks you may have. Reduce the water level down to within 1 inch of the substrate. And if it's not too big a tank and you can manage it to be able to carry that tank, that's preferable. Otherwise, you can scoop part of the substrate off, but once you get into that, you may as well take it all off and start over. I did a video, the catastrophe video. It's a fairly recent one. It really shows what you can do if you have to break a tank down and want to set it back up as it was. Basically, you save the substrate and then cap it with a new layer of sand so that you're not losing the substrate.
Right.
And you are recapping it with enough clean sand to keep that dirt out of the water column.
Good morning, IT Exotics and Tori Rowe. He is new this morning. He says, I live in Florida and I have very poor well water with lots of iron and rust. Could that be safe for use in aquarium?
Generally, yes, absolutely. That's what that's what all of the fish in Florida waters are living in. So it is typically not a problem. Um, you can dilute it, but I've never really noticed that the alkaline water that comes out of Florida deep wells is a problem for fish. Obviously, there's some fish that want to be in salt acid water, but by and large, most of the fish in the hobby are perfectly happy living in hard alkaline water. Talking about poor well water, poor in what sense? Lots of iron and rust.
Yeah.
Iron is a critical component of plant growth, so it's really beneficial, highly beneficial for planted tanks.
That will save you some work, Tori. I don't know what we're looking at for likes for the fish, but I'm just going to say it's hammer time. Smash the like button, people.
Well, we have 81 watching and 56 thumbs up, so you might want to smack that one more time there, Joey, and get
Smash the like
it,
button, people.
get everybody's attention. It went from 50 to 56 to 59. Jump 10 that quick. Good job, you guys. Got to keep them on their toes. Keep them on their toes. 60, 24, 60 to 84. All right, jump it right up there, guys. Jump it up.
All right.
And I haven't rigged the sand bell. You need to rig the sand bell. Sand on top of that substrate.
Yeah.
We're Dunlap. Spent my entire childhood on one ocean or another, and it was glorious. Amen to that, word Dunlap. Especially if you had things like tidal pools available to you. The tidal pools up where Joey lives are just magnificent. There's so much life in them. It's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Have you ever set up any kind of saltwater tank with tidal pool stuff, Joey?
No.
Does it interest you at all?
It didn't interest me. No. Good morning, Red Aquatics. Good morning. Forty fish, father fish. I got my 40-gallon breeder set up yesterday. I did a barrier of pebbles with clay in the center and 2 inches of blasting sand. Going to try no filter, no air, lots of plants. Will it cycle?
Yeah, what'd you put on the bottom? Clay in the center.
Sounds like he just put in clay with a barrier of pebbles and then sand on top.
So you got pebbles, clay, and sand. It'll take a while, but yeah, it'll cycle. 2 inches of sand on top of that, so he's got like 3 to 4 inches total.
Night sunset.
48. It's a curious configuration. Well, report back to us. Let us know how it works. It ought to be fine. Gonna try no filter, no air, lots of plants. It certainly should. Depending on the clay, if that clay is or can be broken up, I assume you've broken up some just to be able to get it in the tank. So long as the plant roots can get into the clay, they'll be able to get nutrition. So
yeah, he just said pebbles are on the border, 1.5 inches of clay with some oyster shells on top, then sand is what he did.
Interesting. Yeah.
Andres, father fish, do you think it would be safe to try to get mud from an area of Los Angeles Channel? or do you think I should not risk it due to the runoff?
I think it depends on how far out you go. Um, you might, I don't know. Uh, I know the body of water you're talking about. Um, and I think it's somewhat problematic. If you can get further out, the heavy metals and insecticides and so forth will have been dissipated or precipitated or broken down the further out you go. So get as far away, as far out as you can.
Um, I just lost something. Oh, Emily. I used to do the same thing with my brother. We used to have contests on that and catching horseshoe crabs every day.
Right.
Every day. 40 years, I don't know. He says it dried out from last year. I broke it up 1 inch size pieces and dust. I don't know. So I guess he just reworked in a tank that he had or something.
Huh.
Well, good luck, Justin.
LA
Hopefully,
mud. Right.
hopefully it works. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that should be fine. Should work. It should be fine. The difficulty with clay is that it is so dense that if you put a big chunk of clay in the
Yeah.
tank, like put an inch deep bed of solid clay, roots would have a hard time getting into it because it's so dense. You think sand? You think plants cannot get through sand? They cannot get through clay. Uh, so they would be working off the top. So it would be all right, but it's better if you can mix the clay in with something that'll aerate it. If you put the clay in water um, and make an emulsification out of it, make mud out of it, and then put like peat moss into that, or even potting soil, that mixes it up enough and aerates it enough to make it accessible to plant roots.
Huh. Robin says, Fatherfish, I had mosquito larvae in my resurrection aquarium. I think I'll remove them with a turkey baster. Don't want mosquitoes in the house.
Good idea. You might consider feeding them. Yeah, that's
Getting them out of your tank. I don't blame you.
right.
Good morning, Roger. Salmon. Good morning.
Now, Chevy Fish is making the comment that pollution is concentrated in shore mud, and it absolutely is. So the further you get downstream from that, the less pollution you're going to find. It washes itself out. I mean, that's the real joy of a body of running water is that pollution will get filtered out, broken down, precipitate into the mud, uh, so that in time, as the water flows, it becomes cleaner and cleaner. I remember going on a beach in Louisiana that was covered in tar from the oil rigs that were leaking, and we found the most exquisite angel wing shells on that beach. It was really kind of amazing and remarkable to find something so delicate and pristine and beautifully white on a beach that was just gunky with oil.
Hmm. Um, Roger Salmon wants to know, is it possible to connect 3 sponge filters in one small air pump? I think it does. Not.
It may not be.
Yeah,
You
mine
just
is
have to see it. If you raise the sponges up in the water column to get closer to the surface, uh, the pump will not have so much pressure to fight, water pressure to fight, and it'll deliver more air. and that moves water, and that's really all you needed to do is water. So you might consider elevating the elevating the filters, put them on top of something, get them closer to the surface in order for that pump to be able to pump more air out.
Yeah, that's why we used to catch them, Emily. We throw them up on the rocks so that we could swim because they were a pain in the butt, and then we throw them back in.
What, jellyfish or horseshoe
Yeah,
crabs?
horseshoe crabs. They'd come in and they'd have their tails sticking up, and you're trying to swim, so we just kept throwing them up on the rocks. We'd leave them up there while we were swimming, then we put them back.
We're Dunlap. We used to chew road tar when it got hot outside, bubbled. Between that crayons and paint chips, we had a balanced diet. And you made it this far, amazing. We're Dunlap.
Oh yeah, I used to play with the lead paint chips that my mom was scraping off. We didn't know it was bad then. And we kept play with them. Excuse me.
Grass have a small air pump and it can handle a large tank, and I use one airline for 3 filters. Well, there you go.
Just depends.
Yeah.
It either works or it doesn't. That's about it. You either have enough flow or you don't. You can always get another pump if you have to. All right.
I need to get a little more coffee here. How's your coffee, Joey?
Oh, I'm all right for now. Cold, but it's cold. Yeah. Poor Dunlop. He had not lived until he got wrapped up in jellyfish tentacles around your torso.
Oh, God knows.
We would get jellyfish up here, like if we had a full moon and what we refer to as kids as flood tides and whatever. We'd get some that would come in, but typically we didn't have much up here. Not in Bay Area.
We used to get them really bad in the Chesapeake Bay,
Yeah.
and their stingers could hurt. They
Yeah.
could really hurt. We would rub mud on them to get the burn out. Actually, it seemed to work. Just
Yeah.
putting mud on the stings.
Yeah. I never got stung by one, so I'm good.
Pea and meat tender.
I've also heard of vinegar. You know, having vinegar for that sort of thing.
Vinegar, yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, Sarge. How are you?
Emily's talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what they say, Andres. Horseshoe crab blood is gold. Yeah. Can't remember what they use it for, but I know they use it.
It's used in research.
Okay. I was gonna say I know they use it for something.
Do I keep my outdoor tubs in partial shade or direct sunlight? Both. Most of them are in partial shade, but I do have one or two in direct sunlight. They're bigger.
Okay.
Gulf of Mexico has darling jellyfish. We're darling. Don't know that I've ever used that word to describe jellyfish.
We're done. You're in for jellyfish. Well, I'm just hoping I never have to experience, so then I don't have to figure it out.
You're in for jellyfish sting.
Yes, Rohan. Direct sunlight equals green water, and my tub with mollies in it. Yeah, I'm sure they love it.
You
I'm sure
bet.
they love it.
Make them happy.
And the partially shaded one has no green water. That would make sense. 100%.
High and large.
Yep. All right.
Ooh, we're really got a juice here, aren't we? Everybody go to
Well,
sleep.
I'm just looking for anything that we might have missed.
Yeah. Anyone watching? 69 thumbs up. 82 watching.
But I don't really think we've missed anything. I don't think.
Yeah. Eric Lance is saying good morning. Who is this?
Good morning, Eric, and welcome.
Hello, Eric. Took apart 2 dirted tanks. Like to toss the used mud into a pond. No, that should be fine. It'll settle out. It's going to make the pond muddy for a bit,
Yeah.
but it will settle out. It should not be a problem at all. In point of fact, it'll help the pond enormously. Most people with outdoor ponds want to try to keep them pristine so they can clean them out. And you really don't need to do that. The better approach is to put sand, put sand in the pond in order to keep the detritus down in the substrate. If you've got koi, it's problematic because koi stir things up hopelessly. So it gets to be a problem trying to do that. The deeper, the better. If you can go deep, like 6 inches of sand in your pond, which can tend to get expensive, I guess, in a big pond.
Mhm.
But the trick then is to leave it alone. Don't try to clean it out at any point. Just leave it. In it would take 10 to 20 years for it to become a problem. So in 10 years you might completely clean the pond, wash it out, get the fire department in to hose it out. You know, take it down to base and start over. But generally speaking, if you have sand in your pond, it's going to be good to go for years and years. How often do I feed the sirens? About once a week, and I feed them worms. I feed them earthworms. They also get any dead fish that occur in the tank. They go in there and they'll eat those.
Is it your birthday, TJ? Happy birthday. That's what everybody's saying. Happy birthday.
Birthday frugal.
Yeah.
Can never tell when Word Dunlap tells the truth. Oh well.
um, Chevy Fish is talking about indoor tubs. Yep. Besides,
Talking about overheating, yeah.
Yep. And CM, good morning, welcome. Says, I have a 29-gallon with gravel. After watching you, I decided to start adding sand over the top of everything. I've only done about 25%. Is it okay to cover the rest, or do I need to wait?
Depends on what's going on in the gravel. If you've got plants growing in it, then you want to do it more slowly because you don't want to bury the plants. Maybe a half an inch or quarter inch a week or so. But yeah, you're on the right track.
Well, TJ, it's your birthday sometime this year, so happy birthday.
Amen. Amen. How many different species of fish do I keep? Gee, I don't know. I just got some yesterday. I don't know if we can see them. I ordered some fish from a local fish haberdasher. Leprologus milagris, the shell dweller, and I can't get this closer. Some blue rams, the Microgeophagus neon blue, and some Stedocranus buffalo heads. Here's the rams in front. You can kind of see those.
Yeah, I can't see them close. I mean, I can see fish swimming around.
I can see them, but I can't get my camera closer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Uh,
far they're
uh,
looking okay. I need to develop a better food for them, though. Need to get some live food going.
that's funny, TJ. um, Emily says
Figured
fatherfish
out
jerky.
the horseshoe crab. So, how many different species? I didn't answer the question. I am collecting native species. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 native species right now. Um, Other than that, not a whole lot. Maybe I've got angels, Africans, about 5 or 6 species of Africans. They're Malawi's, Alanocranids mainly. A few platies, swords, no guppies at present. Um, Not a lot. Not a lot. Oh, I didn't turn the light on. Look at that. All this time and I'm in the dark.
This whole birthday thing. Sorry, TJ. We're done that. You're a troublemaker. Good morning, Brandon.
Very merry on birthday.
Good morning, Brandon. Trolling around. Hello. Good morning.
Virgo says seeing Joey is as good as a birthday. You betcha. You betcha. Brightens the day.
Oh, good morning, Fish Pancakes. I don't know if I said hi to you. Good morning. Yeah, that word Dunlap.
Right.
He's a sunny kid. All right. Oh, yeah, there you go. Chevy, you covered it
June
with
23rd, Joey. Is that your birthday, Joey?
No, that's TJ's birthday.
Oh, it's TJ's birthday.
He just said it was June
Oh,
23rd.
right, there it is. Yeah.
Brad's Hobbies, hello. I'm not sure why you're at the hospital, but I hope you're okay and you're doing well.
Man. Chevy fish also partly cover the top of my tubs with a piece of wood
Yeah.
or shade. I put window screen on top to prevent dragonfly larvae, but lift it up a bit for mosquito larvae to feed my fish. Yeah, you could. That's true. You can do that. You can prevent
Oh,
dragonfly because the dragonfly hover and they're looking for open water. They're not looking for a tiny place to get into, whereas the mosquitoes are. Mosquitoes will get into a small hole.
um,
Dragonfly will.
Brad, that's amazing. Congratulations. I'm glad it's a good thing. Congratulations to you both and your family. Aquaballs. Finally just finished an emergency water change. My kids fed my fish over too much food. Yep. It happens with kids
Yeah,
sometimes. It does.
it'll happen.
Yeah, I woke up with a bunch of food sitting
Girl.
on the bottom of the tank. Yep. At least you got to it before anything really bad happened.
Can't answer your question, Whips World, as to how many feet are needed to filter it out. I wouldn't even hazard a guess. It would not be a lot. I mean, if you got 100 foot of runoff by 25 or 30 foot, it's probably going to be clear. But with surfactants, it can be a problem because you don't want to get surfactants from the washing machine in your tank water. It'll cause all kind of chaos.
Yeah.
So I would get as far downstream from it as you can, and then test it and see.
Yeah, but I don't know how old your kids are, George. It just happens. I've had it happen to me when my kids were little. It's hard to keep on top of them sometimes. That sounds like you got it, so that's good. Caught it in time. You know.
Oh, Fission is about to hear his baby's heartbeat.
Oh,
First.
congrats. That's nice.
That's exciting.
Oh, awesome, Brett. That's all good news and fun, and congrats again.
Oh my. 7 pounds 2 just passed hearing test.
Mm-hmm.
Out of sight. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good job.
We're done that.
Mazel tov.
I'm doing a documentary on Stalin the snail.
Oh,
The
it's
title.
still. I love it. Title eludes me. Well, that's not like that. Documentary on Stalin the snail. What could the title be? That's really interesting.
Mhm.
Huh. There's so many possibilities.
I think just the name itself says it.
I love it.
The name of the snail. You don't need anything else.
13-year-old still has some growing up.
Well,
Aquaball. Well, there you go. Stephanie, yes, indeed, there are
mm-hmm.
a bunch of
New
terrific.
Jenny, new additions to the shoal. That's cute.
Amen. Yeah, welcome to everybody who's new. Delighted to have you with us.
Absolutely.
One of the things you will notice, as I'm sure everyone here can agree, is that every day is completely different from anything that's happened before. There is no routine here. It just goes the direction of the chat. So wherever the chat leads us is where we follow.
Yeah.
Guppy Crabs, I'm setting up 4 15 to 20 gallon tanks. One for my angels. Any idea what I should do with the other 3? Bumblebee Platies. Well, that's a good choice. Gee whiz. 15 to 20 gallon tanks. That's a nice size tank. I've got 4 of them. Here, I have 4 15s. And I really have not decided what to do with them yet. I've got them down low. I had to disconnect the light from one, so I need to get that back on. I don't know. I don't have heat in them either. I need to deal with that.
Got grass solar. I'm setting up for 15 to 20 gallon tanks. One is for my angels. Any ideas what I should do with the other 3? I might try to breed Bumblebee Platies and another one. Yeah, those are good choices. 377. Hello. I don't understand the question. Are you going to search for the Dirigo treasure? I don't know about the Dirigo
treasure. I don't know. Is there a historical treasure buried in your environments, Joey?
I don't know. Honestly.
And Frugal was watching a cooking show. Oh, light soy sauce over dark. I see.
We're done, lad. It's never Groundhog Day at Fatherfish, but it could be your birthday. Oh, you're funny.
Really?
Oh, it says a couple from Maine buried 20,000 in Maine. Well, Maine's a big state, so I have no idea. No, I won't be out digging. That is for certain. So.
Ooh. Roman Shiraga 66. Is that what that was?
Well, first he said 666, and I wasn't sure what he was getting at, but then he qualified it, so it's like, okay.
We'll take it at that.
Not really sure about that. It's just a typo.
Sounds like.
I would say. So, anyway, um, I have a little something I'd like to say, Father Fish.
Sure.
Um, just there's been a few recent things lately, and with even a comment, on the Raw 93 show the other night. I've done some thinking, and I'm thinking it's this is going to be my last show on the Father Fish channel. I think it's probably time for us to part ways, and I wish you the best of luck. And I know your channel is just going to continue to grow. And I just want to say I appreciate everyone in the show. I've enjoyed being here. I've enjoyed meeting you all and interacting on a regular basis. But I think it's time for me to move on. So I appreciate everything, everyone, and I am going to say my goodbye. And love everyone. It's been wonderful. I'm gonna say goodbye, and you can end your show, Father Fish.
Well, Joey, before you leave, thank you. Oops, lost it. Thank you so much for being part of this stream. You've been a joy and an absolute delight, and it's been a thrill for me to have you. I am so grateful for everything you've been able to do for us. You've been a tremendous benefit to the channel, and I wish you well, and will do everything I can to help you build your channel as you move forward. Be sure to get that hammer blitzed. We'll be looking forward to seeing it in other streams along the way. And I know you'll be showing up. I know you'll be around and in some other streams. So good fortune to you. Love you very much. Delighted that you've been able to be with us as long as you have. It's been many months, and it has been an absolute delight. Thank you so much, Joey. Love you very, very much, and wish you great, great times in your future here on the YouTube channel. Bye for now, everyone. Love you all. Good to be with you.